Hello everybody and welcome to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin and Lisa Leyland. It's round 4 of the FI Motocross World Championship. We're at the MXGP of Sardegna at Riola Sardo. And coming up on our studio show today, we have a studio show of first, if you like. We've got a first-time red plate holder in MX2 in the form of Liam Everts. We've got a first pro race, qualifying race winner and podium finisher in MXGP, Lucas Coenen. We've got the first ever MX2 world champion from 2004, Ben Townley, coming in to join us as well. But before we meet any of our guests, Lisa Leyland.
It's the first time we've had some sun.
Do you want to say that again so I can hear you?
It's the first time.
No, put your mic up.
It's up there.
There you go.
It's the first time we've had some sun and I put some sun lotion on, so I'm happy. We're good.
And we're back at the beach.
A weekend of first. We're back at the beach. Got some sand.
And it's the first of 3 in a row.
It is. It's a lot of firsts, isn't there?
Yeah, busy weekend this weekend. Anyway, should we crack on?
Let's.
Meet our first guest.
Yeah.
Liam Everts, Nistan Husqvarna, factory racing. Take a seat, young man. And obviously great to see you. Obviously, you've just come in from your free practice a short while ago. But if I'd have said to you in February, you'd be leading the championship after 3 rounds, would you believe me?
No. No.
It's a great position to be in, though, isn't it?
Yep. A position the team and I we really didn't expect to be in, and yeah, it's pretty unbelievable.
We'll talk more about that in a bit, though. But Argentina, the first round, obviously it was a last-minute decision, from what I understand, to go there. You know, you only made the decision probably like a week or so out. How did that race feel to you? Because you came away from there 4th overall. Did you feel that far off the pace or not? I know you had a 3rd in the last race.
We made the call, I think, a week prior to that. I was in Spain, just preparing. I had 2 weeks on the race bike. And we were like, yeah, this is going really well. The main thing for me was how am I going to cope with fear? You know, when you lose feeling in your whole body, you know, it's a shock, you know. But that actually went better than expected. And yeah, things were moving quick. And we were like, we got a process. We got everything a bit in our heads, how long this will take. I was gunning for a good second part of the season. But then, yeah, we showed up in Argentina and we weren't far off, that was for sure. First moto I made two crashes, and then second moto I just rode my laps and stayed out of trouble, and we were there just let's take some points, you know, because the year before I broke my thumb and didn't get any points at all, so we took, what was it, like 36 points more than we did last year, so that was a big bonus itself. So everything for me at the moment, it's just a bonus, you know, to just be riding and having a lot of fun on the bike is that came back to me a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we headed to Spain. Yes, it was the weather was a leveler. It was very difficult conditions, but that doesn't take away from what you did in those difficult conditions. Race win, GP win. That was a good weekend for you.
Yes. Yeah. Again, really unexpected. You know, the weather was there, but. In these conditions, I didn't ride at all since
Portugal.
Yeah, let's say I had a little bit of time on the trail bike, but it wasn't much. So, but I enjoy it. You know, you just gotta stay. Whoops.
Keep going.
Out of trouble, and just click off your laps, and you kind of have to go slower to go faster.
Okay, so that GP win in Spain, how did that compare to your other GP victories that you've had? Where did you rank it?
It was very high, if not the top one. You know, coming in with a new team, new number, everything fresh after almost career-ending accident. Yep. It was special.
Obviously, after Spain, there wasn't any time to regroup. We went straight to Saint-Jean-d'Angely, a different kind of racetrack, and obviously in normal conditions, you know, you've got it's high speed, it's intense, the intensity is there. My fear, and I think I said it in our Behind the Gate, was, yeah, what you did in Spain was one thing, but then going to somewhere like Saint-Jean, where traditionally a lot harder, a lot faster, and my fear was that you maybe wouldn't have the intensity to sort of maybe stay in the game over the whole weekend. Maybe, you know, that race fitness might be missing.
I think I was definitely in the game with my intensity level.
Yeah.
Especially the first 15 minutes of Moto 2. I think that was what I showed there to get past back, you know, fall to third, go back to first. That was all there, you know, that package is there. I think, like you say, you know, we're just missing a bit of race pace, but that'll come, you know, with races we do, it'll come back to me. So I'm not worried about that at all. But again, you know, I'm keeping my perspective where I was 7 months ago. So that again is just a bonus.
This was a great moment, though, wasn't it? This this victory. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you took the red plate after quali. You then kept hold of it after the race on Sunday. How's it feel to have a red plate? First time leading the MX2 World Championship. Is there any stress attached to that?
Well, we took away the stress a little bit. We made a bet on Thursday, Kai and I did. We were traveling to the race, and I said, why don't you take off that beard? You know, you look so old, man. Come
I was thinking the same.
I said, you gotta take it off. Okay, I'll take it off if you get red plate. Like, okay. He was so sure he wasn't gonna lose it. I obviously had a mechanical then.
Yeah.
But then I kept hold of it. He said, like, on Saturday, okay, you can keep it for tomorrow, but I'm gonna take home the plate. And then I crossed the line on Moto 2, and for some reason, he counted out these points, and he said, congratulations, you got a red plate. I was like, how do you know
Get that
this?
off your face now.
And I think he still has it off now. So
Good.
It was a fun story.
You've done us all a favour with that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Liam.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for that.
I like those little behind-the-scenes
Yeah.
backstories, though. It's cool.
I think Bo also likes that, so yeah.
And I guess then, I mean, Kai is obviously someone you've known for many, many years and raced with and all the rest of it. I'm guessing the atmosphere in the team is pretty good then at the moment.
Yeah, we're getting along well. You know, we're all speaking Dutch in the team, or Flemish. I prefer to call it Flemish.
Yeah.
No, it's fun. We're having fun days, and we're just enjoying our weekend. And you know, the result is just a thing aside. We're all just doing our best, and if it comes to us, you know, for the better. You know, we're all happy then. If it's not, we're going to keep on working and try and improve.
Well, obviously, we're back in the sand this weekend here, deep sand as well. Is it a place that you enjoy normally? You know, are you kind of feeling more prepared this weekend than maybe if it was, you know, a couple of weekends ago, for instance? Because we've had a weekend off after France, so how was the prep coming in?
I got a bit under the weather actually after France, so it wasn't ideal. But again, you know, that's part of life, and just gotta make the best out of it. It's not a place where I had, let's say, the best years before, but you know that can change also. We're just here to do our best, and my main goal here is to just get a good feeling and yeah, spin some solid laps and go home with good points.
Absolutely. And how were track conditions? I mean, from my side, probably not rough, and you know, it's not getting rough at the moment, but also could do with a bit more water just to sort of make things a little bit heavier. Yeah,
it might be a bit better with a little bit of water, but you know, it's early days. It's really flat at the moment, but I have a feeling that'll change pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Well, look, Liam, great to see you. Good to see you on good form as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And how is it having your fellow Kiwis in the paddock, real quick?
Yeah,
Ben Townley,
it's good.
Townley.
We had a good time in here the last week. We had some riding together, and you know, he's giving me a hard time, but we're having fun.
Yeah, typical Kiwi bants.
Oh yeah.
Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rest of the season. Liam Everts. We'll catch up again soon. Just before we meet our next guest, here's a little snippet from Behind the Gate, Episode 3, El Toro Loco. A little bit about the history of 50 GP wins. Of course, Tim Gajser added his name to that list just a couple of weekends ago.
It's going to be Grand Prix victory number 50. He ties Joel Smith through the whoops. Here he is. Legends, as I said, is what Namori is all about. This is another legend that goes into the book. This is another record.
The record of 50 Grand Prix victories in MXGP and the FIM Motocross World Championship has been one of those holy grail kind of moments.
We've seen many good generation of riders not come close to that total, and even now it's such a huge achievement.
Tim Gajser, stand up and take a bow. You've joined the 50 club. 50 Grand Prix victories now for Tim Gajser.
Last weekend I managed to take my 50th overall GP win. I mean, it's a big number, and to be joining such a legend in the sport, you know, to achieve 50 Grand Prix victories, it's amazing, you know. Obviously, I didn't know last week. when I crossed the line, obviously I was super happy, you know, to win the overall, but I didn't know that it was my 50th Grand Prix victory. So obviously when they told me, like, I was super happy, and I mean, it gives you even more motivation, you know, like to go even more forward, to try to reach even bigger numbers.
Joel Robert was the first rider to get to 50 Grand Prix wins, and he was so ahead of his time. One of the first riders to really launch a motorcycle from a jump or a bank, use the airtime to gain time, and he was just a class above in the late 60s and early 1970s. He set that win mark, and it was nearly 30 years before it was matched by another incredible rider, Stefan Everts. He also won 6 world titles, and still to this day, only 2 riders have even passed that mark. So that gives you an idea of just how important Joel Robert, who was the first to get to 50 wins, is in the history of motocross.
Hello everybody, welcome back to part 2 of our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. Our second guest joins us now from Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, Lucas Coenen, new to the class, of course. Lucas, good to see you. Welcome to Sardinia, where, as you said just a moment ago, at least we've got sun. How is your MXGP journey so far? I know we're only 3 rounds in. From the outside looking in, it looks like it's getting better pretty quickly.
Yeah, of course. Like we could see, I struggled a lot since just before Argentina, and now we're just building, trying to get better feeling with me, my body, and yeah, learning the class, like I said, because you can learn, you can buy learning, and France was good for me. I get 2 third position, just stay calm and accepted to don't win, and accept that I wasn't there fast enough at the good moment. So I'm just trying to learn and get better every race, and I know I have the speed, but I just need to, when I will feel like perfect and in my head like I could battle with them and give a run for the money to the others, then yeah, it's coming.
Obviously, at the end of last year, when it was announced you were going 450 into MXGP, a lot of people were kind of concerned with the decision. Man, is it the right thing? Is it too early? Is it too soon? But I guess, you know, are you happy now that you followed your heart? Because the learning curve has been pretty steep, and already, you know, you're doing good things.
Yeah, of course. I know a lot of people are like that. They say what they want, but I'm somebody that like to move on, and I like to learn, like I said. And I also had in the past a lot of people saying this and that, but at the end of all, I showed them what I can do, and like now, yeah, I did a 1 podium. It's already good, but I know what I can do. The team is behind me. They also believe in me since day one. So, I mean, just getting better at it, and yeah, people will see me more up front. I hope so.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Argentina. It was a tough first GP for you. Can you just remind us what the problem was there, and why it was so difficult? Why the weekend was so difficult?
You've still got some pretty fancy armbands on there.
You see? No, just little problems happened before. Yeah, a little setback, let's say, but I try to go over it and try my best, because it's not easy. Also, already when you fit to race with those top guys is already tough, but yeah, I just do my best. I bit on my tongue and just try to get the points. That's the most important. So I was so happy, team also, and look where we are now. I think 4 in the championship, batting with them around there, so I can't ask for more.
Well, you definitely got some points in Saint-Jean, round 3 in France. First MXGP race win in that qualifying race. That was a big moment for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, when I came into the weekend, I said, like, when I rode in the MX250, I won all, MX2 also. And then I went to MXGP and I said, hey, it's going to be really tough to win all, because team is also really good, Romain also. And when I won the quali race, I was like, I got those shots, I can maybe try to run up front. And team was like pushing, and I was trying to manage the gap. And then team in the last lap, I wasn't looking to pit Paul, honestly, because it was a lot to the right. And then I was like, yeah, okay, I hear somebody. So I went a little bit more like a push till the end. And at the end, I won the quali race. It was like something so big, because all in 3 races in. And yeah, I didn't expect it, honestly.
Yeah. And you celebrated like you just won a Grand Prix or a World Championship. Was it cool that it was your mate behind you as well, Tim, that was the first to congratulate you as well?
Yeah, really cool because me and Tim, yeah, we go along really good. Had good times also last year and still now. I mean, Tim, for me, I respect him. For me, he's so good rider, and next to the bike also perfect person. So for me, it stays the same. On the bike, it's always the same. We battle, we want to win also, and no, it keeps fun. If we keep battling, it's good.
And obviously it was nice to get that qualification win, but it's what you do after that that kind of determines how good the weekend was. So to follow up with 2 consistent rides, 2 third-place finishes, you didn't look like you were in a hurry. You know, you just said, you know what, let's just settle, let's get the podium. That's how it seemed from the outside. You know, you were just happy to sit back, let the other guys, you know, do their thing.
Yeah.
But that's important, though, that consistency, and maybe another step on the learning ladder, if you like.
Yeah, of course. Like everybody saw a bit, I was not rushing anything. Just going into the first motor, I was behind Tim, trying to stay calm, and like was like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I came back a little bit. Was like the gap was the same, and then I made a mistake down the hill. Got a little bit rush on the inside. Romain passed me, and second motor the same. Made a little mistake. Romain passed me, and then I was in third. I tried to give him a run, and then the rain started coming. I said, okay, I'm not like last year. I'm staying calm. I'm getting that podium for the first time, and doing the last laps were quite good and good feeling. And then when we got the podium, we were like, oof, that's out of the way, and it was a good weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're here in Rio Sardo. You won a race here last year in MX2. What's your feeling now coming in on the 450?
I mean, riding in the sand with the 450, we usually think is more easy, but with the power and trying to find a good way to handle the bike in the sand is, for me, is more tough with the 450, but I'm looking good. I mean, this morning we made some little changes and I felt better and better. So I'm just waiting, let's say, to get the bumps, let's say, to make the track more slow, and just will be fun. Like Jeffrey's also back, so that's also really nice, even if it's not like perfect. But no, I'm just looking forward to get the first sand race out of the way.
Yeah.
And actually, before we came on air with you, we were talking about Sasha, Mr. Rubber Man. Rubber. He really does bounce, doesn't he? 2 big crashes in France. Is he all right? Doesn't?
He's like like before, just perfect. Nothing happened. Just got some gymnastic under the way, but all under control.
Yeah.
Apart from the dog bite.
Yeah, about this.
Whose dog was it?
One friend dog bite, and he said, yeah. Somebody asked him yesterday, you have pain for friends? I said, no, nothing. Only one dog bit me. I said, okay.
That's it. All good.
Better than a whole pack of dogs.
Yes.
Anyway, Lucas, good to see you. Enjoy the rest of your MXGP season. It's going well so far, and good to see what you did a couple of weeks ago in France.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Thanks,
all right.
Lucas.
Ben Townley's getting ready to come and join us in a moment, but before we go and check in with Ben Townley, another episode from El Toro Loco, Behind the Gate, episode 3. This one focusing on that first ever win from Ferruccio Zanchi. Enjoy.
It's been a perfect race for the Italian, and Ferruccio Zanchi will cross the line. He wins race 1 here in Castilla-La Mancha, and what a win it is, and what a moment for the youngster. Absolutely ecstatic, and you would be. Ferruccio Zanchi still over the move.
One rider to definitely profit from the difficult conditions in Cosa was Ferruccio Zanchi. We saw him take his first foxhole shot of the year. He led from start to finish. He turned that into his first MX2 race win. That was a good moment for everyone to see, and for him and the team. I think it was fair to say he didn't really turn too many heads last year. So to see him shine in Cosa definitely put a smile on my face and many other faces.
Ferruccio did exactly what we expected, so in fact it was even too soon. He won the moto, which was very important for the team, especially for the rider, because you know, he needs to get the confidence he can do it every weekend. Now we have added a second rider in MX2, so that's the plan, to try to win one day the world title like we won in 2015 with Team Gajser.
Mandragora! Rolando! Mandragora! Rolando! Mandragora! 2-0. Forza Fiorentina.
Campionessa del mondo in carica, Lotte Van Drunne, ma con...
Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Mayland, and Lisa Leyland. Our final guest joins us now, and guess what? He was the first ever MX2 World Champion back in 2004. Ben Townley, welcome to our studio show. Good to see you. Has it really been 21 years since you became the first ever MX2 World Champion?
Yeah, I think you can see that, the age.
A little bit of salt and pepper sprinkled in there.
It was a many moons ago, long time ago. Forgotten about it.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, we just had Liam Everts in a moment ago. He's the current MX2 World Championship leader. I know you have got a bit of history. Is it good to see what he's doing at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's incredible, to be honest. I haven't followed a lot of media in recent weeks, but to see what he's doing and what he's currently able to achieve off the back of an injury, you know, like, what was it, 6-7 months ago, couldn't feel his feet for a few minutes, you know, and to come back, that's an enormous injury to return from. Obviously his dedication just to firstly getting fully healthy, but then to actually get on top of a bike. And I don't know if he's, you know, told the story of how limited his amount of riding was before Argentina. Like it was minimal. Yeah. You know, you could count on your fingers how many times he rode his bike, and then to arrive in Argentina and such a fast and, you know, gnarly sort of racetrack. You know, I thought that was an incredible performance there. And then again, obviously it was suited to him in Gajser, but then St. John, like that was, you know, we've talked about it, was super technical but fast, you know, and to be able to ride like he did there, he did some things that probably no one's ever seen him do with the way he battled for the lead. So, yeah, I think if that's what he's showing now, there's a lot more to come, I'm sure.
Yeah. Just amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Yeah. Ben, who in your eyes, I'm guessing Liam is one of them, but who in your eyes are the biggest challengers for the MX2 World title this year?
Kai. I think, like, you know, he's got to be #1 favourite. Yeah. Obviously, you know, the Sasha has to stay off the ground. That's his #1. You know, he's got to focus on himself, not on the other riders.
Because otherwise he's very fast.
Yeah, he's extremely fast. You know, he's got, firstly, a massive power to weight advantage. That's #1. And then the other guys are probably a little bit too sort of inconsistent, or they don't have that ability to stay at the head of the field all of the time. And it seems like Kai, he's got, you know, probably the strongest ability to do that from what we've seen early in the season. I know it doesn't look good on paper. He had that one DNF, so it's other than that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, moving on to MXGP, how impressive has Tim Gajser been so far this year? He hasn't finished less than 3rd in any of the races. It's looking good for him.
Yeah, very. This early in the season, it's going to be hard to stop him if he continues that type of form. Obviously, Maxime's injured, or, you know, has some type of injury. And
well, he came out on social this week and put all the conspiracy theories to bed. Said he did have a hand injury before Spain. Broke 2 metacarpals, had them plated. So he was literally 4 days out of surgery, or 3 days out of surgery when he raced in Spain. With 2 broken bones here. Right hand as well.
Guy's tough as nails, eh? Like, that's impressive to do, you know, and I'm sure he has had very limited bike time, you know, in recent weeks, which doesn't help coming to a track like this, you know. But, you know, I think Tim, he's obviously already in the driver's seat with a lead like that. And
almost 30 points.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it's going to be hard to stop him. You know, he's had so much experience. He's won so much already to be able to then claw that back off him. It's going to take a major mistake from himself now, really, to break that lead down.
There's a mixture of old and new now, isn't there? Obviously, we've got the Roman Fevers of Jeffrey Hurlings, and Tim, obviously, is the new statesman at the moment. It's in control of the championship. But what about Lucas Coenen? He was just on our studio show a moment ago. I know you probably got to see some of what he said if the volume was up next door. I don't know.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on his move to MXGP, and what are your thoughts on his progress so far, Lucas?
To be honest, he reminds me a lot of myself from 2004 to 2005. Very similar. You know, he's come in with a head of steam, heaps of confidence. And
difference was, though, you were a world champion. He didn't. He opted to stick that out, but he's gone with his gut instinct.
Give or take, he was, you know, like, it doesn't matter that he won a hell of a lot of races. He battled Kai all the way, you know, to the final flag. So, you know, he wasn't the world champion, yeah, sure. But at the end of the day, what I'm gauging it on is his level of riding and his ability. He's come in, you know, he's obviously under an injury cloud, which, you know, still reluctant to say anything about. But, yeah, he reminds me of myself a lot because he's come in, he's just got that free-spirited riding style, and he goes out and he's willing to back himself. Like, you know, you saw in Gajser when he tried to take the lead, you know, like he was at the qualifying race? Yeah, qualifying race, yeah, and he made that, was quite a, you know, major mistake in the end, but he's willing to have a go, and I love seeing that. I love seeing young riders, and just to your point there, that's always how the cycles go, right? Like, you'll have some older statesmen sort of nearing the end of your career, and then you'll have, you know, some riders that are jumping up, and there's sort of the young guys that have got that, you know, they're really willing to have a crack, and then your older experienced guys, and it's quite a polarizing difference, isn't it? You know, the way they ride compared to, you know, the older guys. So I like watching that. It's really intriguing to me.
Cool.
Definitely. Well, let's talk a little bit about New Zealand motocross. I know the King brothers and Josh Coppins paved the way for you to come over to Europe and live your dream and race. Now your son Levi's over here. It's very much like a family affair, isn't it? Your daughter's here in the studio, so it's a nice time for you and the family, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really cool experience. Really, really cool. It's it makes me a little bit emotional, to be honest, because it's to get, you know, to this point already. You know, I didn't foresee this happening at this age. You know,
how old is he, Levi?
Just turned 15 last month.
Wow.
You know? He's and you know he's small in stature as well. You know, he's a little fella. So yeah, it's been really, really cool journey. It's accelerated so much in less than 12 months. You know, we didn't going to the World Junior Championship at this time last year. So the New Zealand Junior Championship is on this month in a couple of weekends. It wasn't even on our radar to go to Netherlands last year at this time, you know. So it was actually Ruben who rang me a few weeks after that. Must have been even in May, and said, "Oh, you should come and have a crack." And we sort of waited up and kicked it around, and then we did it, and then all of a sudden it's this roller coaster, amazing roller coaster. Yeah.
Just making memories along the way.
Yeah, very cool to have our whole family here. Like Lucy and I decided that if we're going to do it. It was even hard doing that 3 weeks last year when we came for the World Juniors as a family being split up.
So was it, I guess the big turning point then was the 125 Blue Crew Cup at Matterley Basin, where he led for so long and obviously just lost out to Jamie Keith. But that put him in the shop window to get you here now with MJC.
Yeah, absolutely.
For a full season.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've had a long relationship with Yamaha now, very long. The boys, that's all they've really ridden. And so it was really nice to have that opportunity to continue that relationship. And MJC have been awesome, the whole Yamaha group, and then down to the mechanics and all the staff. It's been such an easy transition. Really, really cool, actually.
Well, anybody that follows you on Ben Townley MX on Instagram will know that you've worked with another Kiwi on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, Colin Davies. He got his first Supercross win last week in 250. How proud of him are you of that moment? Because watching some of those videos, the time, the dedication that you had working with him, being in America with him as well, and spending that, and now to see that kind of come to fruition, like a proud dad almost?
Yep, it's probably very similar. It's very satisfying and rewarding, to be honest. Yeah, like the time we put in, we actually call him Chatterbox because he didn't used to talk at all.
Are you happy with the track? Yeah.
And yeah, there was a lot of people involved. You know, I've got obviously had a lot of publicity about his success, but Josh Coppins has had a huge influence in the program. You know, everything that I said, this is what Cole needs to do, or Josh had to support it.
Yeah.
And I don't think Josh has the word no in his vocabulary, so he supported it so well. Yamaha Australia did, the WBR team there. Donnie Luce in America with the amateur program, and then Will Hahn was enormously involved. Like, my whole family are involved. He lived with us for 2 years. You know, he just rode Supercross day in, day out on a very structured program with me. That's how I like to do things, and we just built it up. And as you've probably seen recently on social media, like, that's how we were able to give him so much of a foundation with his riding. And yeah, so it's very, very rewarding to see. What I woke up last Sunday morning, we were at a race in Holland, and I had a text message that said, if you're not awake, you should be. And I knew straight away. So it's pretty cool. It's special for our sport in New Zealand as well. Very special.
And just really quick, we've got about 15, 20 seconds left. What do you think that will do? What impact will that have on the New Zealanders? Because obviously the next in line...
We're off to the races.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few more lined up. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, look, Ben, great to catch up with you. Enjoy the Ben Townley Family Tour 2025 here in Europe.
Thanks for having us.
It's great for the insight on everything that's been happening, and you know, what's going on in the championship.
Yeah,
as well.
thanks for having me. It's awesome
No
to
worries.
be here.
Thank you. Right, we are out of time, but just to let you know, coming up on MXGP TV, we do have time practice 140 coming up live on MXGPTV.com, followed by the MXGP time practice. Then we're straight into the races from 2:50 later on today. Well, that's all we've got time for. Me and Lisa will be back next week when we go to, remind me again, Trentino. Yeah, well, that's where we're going next week. We've got 3 in a row. Oh, it's already that time of year. Anyway, from me, Paul Malin, Lisa Leyland, Ben Townley, our other guests as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.
La numero 100